morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today, we need to take a little bit of a look at a whole bunch of new Black Digimon. There are new Black Digimon we need to be taking a little bit of a look at, and it's important to note that Black Digimon finally get their hybrid on, so I think it's probably time to start looking at some of them, their Black Hybrid Digimon. So let's start off with the honestly fairly impressive, wait, that's the wrong word, unimpressive Grumblemon. What we got here is a 5 cost to play normally, 2 cost to Digivolve, 5,000 power, and it's a hybrid. Which means you may Digivolve it from your hand onto one of your Black Tamers as if the Tamer was a level 3 Black Digimon. That's it. That's what it does. That's all that it does. And the sad thing is, right, over these videos, I've been showing you really impressive hybrid Digimon from other colours. The problem is, before this set, there's been no Black Hybrid Digimon. So we're in this super annoying place where I'm just like, look, it's a Black Hybrid, alright? And that's got to be good enough. And I don't think it is good enough, and I don't think it should be good enough, and it's kind of annoying that it is expected to be good enough. But the fact of the matter is, if you want to play a Black Hybrid deck, if you want to be playing a Tamer heavy deck, and you want to be playing around with being able to Digivolve those Tamers into Black Digimon, this is it. I'm not saying it's a good option. I'm saying beggars can't be choosers. And I'm sorry about that. The good news is, if we stay in level 4s, we do actually have another hybrid, and this one is slightly more impressive. Now here we've got Gigasmon, 6 cost to play normally, 3 cost to Digivolve, 6,000 power, and incidentally that is huge for a level 4. 6 cost to play normally is very expensive, 3 cost to Digivolve is more than the average of 2, and 6,000 power again for a level 4 is very high. And once again, you may Digivolve this card from your hand onto one of your Black Tamers as if it were a Black level 3 Digimon. Okay, what else has it got? Blocker. And actually, yeah, you know what? That's alright. That's not bad. Because I love the idea of being able to just drop this. Of just out of nowhere, your opponent doesn't think you've got a blocker, and then all of a sudden, you become a blocker. And the 6,000 power is kind of high, which is nice. Means you're going to be able to block more Digimon while surviving. I don't think this is great, and I'm not going to argue this is great. But it is a hybrid that can also be a blocker, and that actually is kind of a fun little combo that I can get just a little bit behind. I don't think it's amazing, but I don't think it's terrible. So those are your new hybrid Digimon. There are a couple of others that we need to have a little bit of a look at as well, including Dorugoramon, a lovely new level 2. And being a level 2, we have one inheritable skill, which is exactly what we would generally expect here. And on your turn, once per turn, when one of your effects places a Digivolution card under this Digimon, draw one. Okay. It's fine. And look, it's one of those things whereby it really depends what kind of deck you're playing. If you're playing the kind of thing that's going to put a card under there, brilliant. And draw is always good. Otherwise, no. It's like we see very, very often, right? These Digitama can sometimes be extremely specialized, and this gives you extra draw power, and that's really cool. And frankly, if we're looking for extra draw, the only other option we've actually got here is the Sumamon from BT7. When you are attacking once per turn, if you've got unidentified in your type, you draw 1. So basically, that's where you are. If that's the kind of deck you're playing, brilliant, great for draw. Same kind of thing here. It's not amazing, no one's arguing that it's amazing, but in the right deck where you can take advantage of it, you've got a bunch of extra draw power, and that's honestly not too bad at all. Now, there is a level 3 Monitormon we need to have a little bit of a look at here. And what we got is a 3 cost to play normally, 0 cost to Digivolve, 2,000 power, which is standard for a level 3 with skill. And on play, you reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, and you add 1 card with Nightmon or Deadly Axemon in its name among them to your hand, placing the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. Well, I showed you these cards in a recent video, and maybe I should have looked at Monotomon in that one, but I didn't, alright? And they go up into Dark Knightmon, and basically my theory here is really simple. If you are playing a deck with Skull Knightmon, Deadly Axemon, going up into Dark Knightmon, etc., Monotomon becomes an amazing level 3, which is going to give you extra consistency and be an absolutely huge bonus. And if you're not, don't play Monotomon. It really is that simple. It's another one of those that really is a spectacularly specific Digimon. There are some decks that are absolutely going to love this, and there are some decks that are absolutely not going to love it even a little bit. You have been warned, ladies and gentlemen. You have been warned. Moving on then, there is another level 4 we need to talk about that is not a hybrid. It is Dorugoramon here. And we got 6 cost to play normally, 2 cost to Digivolve, 5,000 power. Again, that is on the more expensive, powerful side when we're talking about level 4s. But on your opponent's turn, while you have another Digimon in play with X antibody in its traits, or a card with X antibody in its traits in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, you gain blocker. I mean, look, it's a black Digimon, right? So clearly, we're going to be skewing towards blocker. Blocker is what we see here. And this will work very nicely. Now, if you're thinking X antibody, don't forget we looked the other day at Dorugoramon. Gets an extra 1,000 power for every Digivolution card it has with X antibody type. Incidentally, this is a level 4, and we're going to be having a look at a level 5 in a minute. So we do have the full evolution line to really beef up Dorugoramon here, which is great. And when you are attacking once per turn, you may place a Digimon with X antibody in its type from your hand under this Digimon as a Digivolution card, and then delete up to 2 of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost less than or equal to the number of Digivolution cards under this card. So we really are building up nicely into Dorugoramon here. We do also have the Alphamon from BT6 and Omnimon X antibody from BT5, although that only digivolves from red or blue, so you absolutely could play it, but it would be an awkward one to try and actually mash into your deck. Not saying you can't, because you clearly absolutely can, but I am saying it's not going to be as easy as you might like, and I'm sorry. There we go. So yeah, this one's pretty cool. If you're playing any other X antibody card and you've either got one under it or you've got another one on the field, you're going to have blocker, and then you've got a level 4 2 cost to Digivolve 5,000 power blocker. That's not bad. It's not amazing, but the other thing is it's X antibody, so it's going to help out your Dorugoramon quite a bit as well. Then we've got an inheritable skill that reads on all players' turns. While this Digimon has X antibody in its traits, it gains 1,000 power, which is cool. Because remember, with Dorugoramon, you're already gaining an extra 1,000 power for every X antibody Digimon you've got under it. Now this gives you that extra power. And don't forget Dorugoramon's skill. When you are attacking once per turn, you may place a Digimon with X antibody in its type under it. And then you will gain 1,000 power because you've got another X antibody under. But then this inheritable skill will kick in and give you another 1,000 power. So actually, you gain an extra 1,000 power for each X antibody card under Dorugoramon, but every Dorigamon under it will gain you 2,000 extra power, and this is just going to build up super quickly. Now, I did promise you a level 5, and I don't want to be a liar here, so we've also got Dorugreymon. Now, this is the level 5 X antibody I was telling you about. 8 cost to play normally, 3 cost to Digivolve 7,000 power. The play cost of 8 is 1 more than average, everything else is average, and you're going to Digivolve anyway. Because when you Digivolve, you may put 1 black card with an X antibody in its type from your hand at the bottom of its Digivolution cards, just like we saw with Dorugoramon here. And if you do, this Digimon cannot be deleted by effects, and its power cannot be reduced until the end of your opponent's next turn, which is awesome. It basically gives you a turn of protection. It means the only way your opponent's Digimon can delete you is by attacking, and if they're attacking, then they have to be against an unsuspended Digimon, And if you're unsuspended, well, great news, ladies and gentlemen. Great news. Basically, it's a really nice way to make sure you Digivolve up, and as long as you don't attack and suspend yourself, you will be ready there next time. And that is absolutely brilliant. Plus, then you've got an inheritable skill on your turn. While this Digimon has X antibody in its type, this Digimon gains security attack +1. So clearly you Digivolve up into Dorugoramon here and you gain security attack +1. But remember, every time you attack with Dorugoramon, you get to place a Digimon with X antibody in its type under this Digimon. And when you Digivolve up into Dorugreymon, you may put a black card with X antibody in its type at the bottom of its Digivolution cards, which could be another Dorugreymon. What I'm saying here is, you could easily get to Dorugoramon here with 2 of these, so you get security attack +2, put a third one under, so that next turn you got security attack +3, and you are winning the game very, very quickly. Bearing in mind that between Dorugoramon's main skill and Dorugomon's inheritable skill, you are gonna have more than 15,000 power, pretty much guaranteed. And 15,000 power is as high as Digimon get, so not only are you gonna have all these extra security attacks, which in and of itself is really good, but you're also going to have ridiculous power, and this is going to add up very, very quickly indeed. Dorugoramon looked good when we looked at it the other day, but now we've seen the rest of the X antibody cards, especially Dorigamon and Dorugreymon. Oh my goodness, this one looks good. And I did promise you a level 6 hybrid, so we should probably have a look at that before we finish. We've got AncientVolcamon. Now here we've got a 13 cost to play normally, 5 cost to Digivolve, 13,000 power. So like a bunch of the other 10 warriors, this is high in all regards. It should be 11-3-11 for an average level 6. 13-5-13 is nuts. However, you've also got a Digivolution skill. When you Digivolve, Digivolve free on one of your opponent's Digimon. Remember, that's where you trash the top 3 cards of one of your opponent's Digimon, and then essentially they end up, so you see a level 6, you trash the level 6, the level 5, the level 4, and then they're just left with a level 3. Remember, you cannot go below a level 3 or delete them. You have to actually leave something on the field. But this is still redonk, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely redonk. So yeah, that's pretty good. That's a nice little skill there. Also, on deletion, you may play 1 black level 4 or lower card with hybrid in its traits from your hand without paying its memory cost, which is the kind of thing we've seen from these 10 warriors in this set. And it's fine. But remember, your only 2 options are Grumblemon that doesn't do anything, and Gigasmon that has blocker, so you're clearly going to choose Gigasmon here. And to be fair, it lets you play a blocker for free. It means when you get deleted, you put a blocker onto the field. That's kind of cool. But I can't help thinking that compared to some of the other 10 warriors, this ends up looking, and I'm sorry if this sounds a little bit rude, a little bit disappointing. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Those are all of your Black Digimon there. Once again, we are running through all these new Digimon from the set. I am frankly delighted, and some of these look fun. And Dorugoramon really is starting to look like an absolute powerhouse. I think we are going to be seeing, I think it's fair to say, a fair bit of that Digimon as we go through in the future. But now it's over to you guys. I want to know what you think about all of these cards we've looked at in this video, so let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk Digimon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.